All right, let's dive into something new and honestly pretty cool for the Apple Watch. It's called the wrist flick, and it's a one-handed gesture that might just change the way you use your watch when your hands are full. So let's get right into it.
You know the situation, right? You're walking out of a store, you've got groceries in one arm, maybe a coffee in the other, and then your watch buzzes. A notification comes in. What are you supposed to do? You can't exactly drop everything just to tap the screen. Well, this is exactly the problem a new feature is trying to solve.
And the solution? It's called the wrist flick. Seriously, you can think of it like a new superpower for your wrist, built for those exact moments when your hands are, completely tied up. It's all about making your watch feel even more a part of you.
So what is this thing really? Well, the wrist flick is a gesture that's baked right into watchOS 26, and its entire job, its whole purpose in life, is to dismiss stuff. We're talking notifications, phone calls, alarms, without you ever needing to bring your other hand into the picture.
Now this is a really important distinction to make. You're probably already familiar with the double tap gesture, right? That's your yes command. Use it to confirm things or answer a call. Well, wrist flick is the complete opposite. It's your no command. You use it to dismiss or ignore things. Simple as that.
Okay, so how do you get this thing working? Well, the great news is that for most people, it should be on by default after you update. But just in case, if you need to turn it on or just want to double check, it's a super quick one-time setup.
You can do it directly on your watch, which is super easy. Just pop open the Settings app, scroll down till you see Gestures, give that a tap, find Wrist Flick, and just make sure that little toggle is switched on. Done.
Or hey, if you're more of an iPhone person, you can do it there too. Just open the Watch app, head over to the My Watch tab, tap on Gestures, and you'll see that same exact toggle for wrist flick waiting for you. All right, you've got it enabled. Now for the fun part, actually doing the move. And I gotta say, the action is very specific, and that's on purpose. It's designed so you don't accidentally set it off all the time just by moving your arm around.
So here's the secret. It's a fast, sharp rotation of your wrist away from you and then immediately snapping it back to its normal position facing you. It's not a big, lazy roll of the wrist. Think of it more like a quick, deliberate, a flick, out and back.
And how do you know you nailed it? Your watch gives you this really subtle but distinct haptic click. It's this little vibration that lets you know, yep, got it, action complete. It's great feedback.
So we know how to do it, but what can we actually do with it? This is where wrist flick goes from a neat trick to a real game changer in your day-to-day. It's all about those dismissive actions.
I mean, the uses here are just so practical. You can flick away a text message you don't need right now. You can snooze your morning alarm without fumbling around half asleep. You can even close the Smart Stack or the Control Center if you open them up by mistake.
Now, when it comes to phone calls, it works a little differently, and this is actually really smart. The first flick doesn't hang up on the person. It just silences the ringing. If you actually want to decline the call, you do a second flick. This gives you way more control.
So before you get too excited and start flicking your wrist around, there is a catch. This feature isn't just a simple software update for everyone. It actually relies on newer, more advanced sensors and some pretty heavy-duty machine learning that only exists in the latest Apple Watch models.
And here's the breakdown. Basically, the gesture needs the S9 chip or newer to work. So if you've got an Apple Watch Series 9 or 10, an Ultra 2, or the brand new SE3, you're all set. But, and this is the tough part, for anyone with a Series 8 or older, this feature just isn't going to be available.
So, if we boil it all down, the one thing to remember is this. When you need to say no or not right now to your watch with just one hand, the wrist flick is your new best friend. It's for dismissals, pure and simple. And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As these gestures, these screen-free, one-handed interactions get better and more intuitive, are we slowly moving toward a future where we interact with our wearables without ever having to touch them at all? It's something to think about. Thanks for joining me.